Hello guys, Emmanuel here. Today I want to talk about the new Substance Painter LiveLink with Cinema 4D. This is the first iteration of the new Python-based plugins for Substance Painter, and also is the first version that supports the new UDIMS workflow. Since the Adobe team fully changed how exports and plugins work inside Painter, I had to do some major changes, so the way it works is a little different from the previous versions. Still, I try to keep it simple and as similar as possible to how it has worked so far. Also consider there are still some limitations for Python plugins, the main one being that you cannot export geometry from Painter yet. Hopefully this will be added soon enough by the Adobe team. So let's get started. From the Gumroad page, download the zip of the version 2.1.3 or greater, and extract it. Inside, you'll find a folder called ShowSplink. Copy it and paste it in the Python's plugin folder from Painter, located in your Documents, Algorithmic, Substance Painter, Python, Plugins. Please make sure you are using this path, otherwise it won't work. Then open Painter. If you install the plugin correctly, you will either see the icon of the LiveLink on the right side of the UI, or the window already docked somewhere in the UI. Now we need to verify the license and install the Cinema 4D client. To verify the license, open the plugin and go to the Configuration tab. Paste your license in the key field and click Verify. If successful, the email will be filled and a success message will appear in the log. Now, to install the client, we need to select the plugins folder of the Cinema 4D version we are using, in my case 23. The path field will automatically point to the root Maxon directory, so we just need to select our Cinema 4D's version plugins folder. Then we click the Install button, and a success message will appear in the log to inform us that the client was installed correctly. We can verify it by clicking the Folders button, and we can see the ShowSplink folder that was installed. Also, if we open Cinema 4D now, we should be able to see the plugin in the Extensions menu. Instead of checking every field of the plugin, I think it's better to see how it works in a usual workflow. Let's open Cinema 4D and Painter. The first thing we notice is that as soon as I open both apps, they are both connected. In Painter, we can see the ID of the Painter instance, the available apps, in this case only Cinema 4D is available, the available renders for the app, which are Arnold, Corona, Cinemas PBR, Octane and Redshift, and the presets for each render. And on Cinema, we can see the instance ID and the available Painter instances. As you can see, each other IDs match. Once you select the render and the preset, all the available maps for that preset will appear in the Channels tab. The maps that are shown in the main section are the basic maps needed for a PBR material, and the ones in the optional can be used depending on the material, for example, emissive and opacity. Let's begin by sending a geo from Cinema to Painter. All we need to do is decide the normal map to be used, the initial resolution, the tangent space, if we want to include cameras, and the workflow, either default or UDIMS. We select the geo and the cameras we want, also verify that we have a material assigned already, and click Send. If we have not opened a project in Painter, a new project will be created. If something is open already, depending on what we have in the General section of the Configuration tab, it can either do nothing and inform of an error in the log, or automatically close the current project and open a new one. Now, with the geo on Painter, let's add this lava material and enable the emissive map. Next, we need to decide how we're going to export the maps. First, we select the renderer, in this case I'll use Redshift, and the preset. Standard since I'm not using UDIMS right now. Then we select the output path. If you have not selected anything yet, the default export path from Algorithmic will be selected, then the format and the bit depth, the base size of all the maps, the padding, and the dilation if necessary. These settings will be the default settings to be used by all the texture sets. But thanks to the new export system of Painter, we can now add some extra configurations. To add these extra configurations, we add rules. For example, this rule is of time format, and it's changing the image bit depth of the normal map from 8 to 16. We can add as many rules as we want with the plus button, and they can be applied at UDIM level, at map level, or at texture set level. And the rules can change the image format, the size, and the padding. Once we have configured everything, we can just click the Save button to keep the configuration even if we close Painter. Finally, we select the texture set we want to export and click Send. As you can see, the material was created. Let's start the render and all is working as expected. Well, that's all for now. I'll do some extra videos explaining UDIMS, the different shader networks, and how the rules work. So don't forget to subscribe.
Good luck!